Guys, RedBeard here from the Warrior Tribe, and just thought I would do a little breakdown of my preparedness bags. I'm not going to do them all today. I'm going to focus probably on my grab bag. I don't know. I don't like to call it a bug out bag because I use it a lot more than that. I don't want to have just bags ready to go sitting there full of gear that I'll never use if nothing ever happens. So this is the pack I use when I go out in the bush. This is the pack I use when I go out of town. This is the pack basically of all the stuff I want to have when I'm away from all my stuff. The bare minimums, the stuff that I will come to rely on should some sort of an emergency or disaster scenario take place. I want to make sure that I have all those things with me all the time. Anyways, guys, as I tear open the contents of my 511 Rush 12 EDC bag, I'll give you a rundown as to what I carry in there, why, and why I think it's important to carry that sort of stuff. Anyways, guys, stay tuned, and we'll rip open this pack. So going over an overview of the outside of the bag, guys, I'll let you know that this pack is the 511 Rush 12, and it has some modifications added to it. Because of the nature of the MOLLE webbing that they rig up on the outside, you can extend and build upon the outside shell of the bag. And so what I have is a 511, just a standard utility pouch. There's nothing fancy to it. It's just a very open space pouch. Just gives me a little extra room to stuff some more gear. And then I have over here an H2O carrier. So that holds my 32-ounce Nalgene and a bit of other kit, which I'll show you inside. And then on the outside, I have my little Gerber backpacks. I've had this thing for over 20 years. Fantastic little traveling axe. Super light, super sharp. It's not great for big jobs at all, but it is great for bushcrafting and, just as a general tool. And it weighs very little. A Leatherman multi-tool, the Surge, I carry on the outside. Gives me lots of options for tools that I might need along the way. Some different morale patches, and that's basically the back side of the pack. Flipping the pack over where the strap system is, I keep a aluminum Kubaton for self-defense. I have, this is the pouch for my Nightcore MH20, which I generally wear on my hip. My SRK, Cold Steel SRK, I keep that strapped to the backside within. It's nice. It's within reach at all times. And yeah, that's the back. I'll get into the bag, guys, and show you the internal components. All right, guys. So getting into the main pouches here and the main components of the pack. I'll start on the outside with the H2O carrier, like I told you. Inside, 32-ounce Nalgene. I keep it full of water whenever I go out and empty it generally when I get back. I want to keep that water refreshed, though. Don't just fill it up with water and then a year later go to drink it. And just down there below, because otherwise this thing sinks way down too far, I keep a spare pair of wool socks. Those are Wigwam mid-weight, good hiking sock, a wet feet sock. On the outside, I keep water filtration. Sawyer Mini, the squeeze bag for it that rigs up to this. You can see that in one of my other videos, how that works. But some purification tablets. This here can ensure that I have clean drinking water pretty much anywhere. This filter will filter out pretty much anything I need to concern myself with in the woods or in an urban setting. So the ability to have clean drinking water is key, no matter where you go. You can't survive anything without that. On the other side, the utility pouch, 511's, I think it's called 6x9 utility pouch. I live in Chemical Valley, as they call it, Sarnia. We have a ton of refineries, both oil and chemical refineries. So the potential for a chemical disaster, perhaps some gases in the air, things like that, could be a real threat. I don't have the money for thousands of dollars worth of gas masks, so I do just carry some N95 masks. They're certainly not the best, but they are better than nothing. These will filter out a lot of dust, debris, smoke to a degree. They are going to be a lifesaver if any sort of a chemical threat, be it accidental or intentional. Also, if there was some sort of an outbreak of disease, these are going to be nice to have as well. I have 3, one for my wife, child, and myself. And I like to keep those right near the top because when you need these things, you need them fast. If anybody's been in the military, you know, you practice drills, gas, and you got to see how fast you can get on your protective gear, because if you don't get it quick enough, by the time you know it's there, you could be dead. So you got to have that stuff quick and ready to use. Underneath that, a little bit of emergency food, a couple of Cliff Bars, a couple of packs of instant soup, stuff that's really fast and easy to make. All I have to do is add some boiling water. In a pinch, I can just sit there and eat it right out of the pack. It's not a big deal. 550 paracord. It's a big roll, I know. I like to keep it in there because then I know where it is. It's a little heavy, but I don't care. If you need cordage, you'll be happy to have lots of it, so I carry lots of it. Knife sharpening kit. Some tarred bank line. Also great cordage to have. 1,000,001 uses. A lot of times paracord just doesn't cut it. It's not fine enough. Oh, and down inside there, you know, old school tech, I guess. A compass, standard compass. Don't rely on your electronics to get you through everything. As much as I do use my electronics for my navigation from day to day, you can't count on it if something goes wrong, or you lose your device, or your device goes dead, or you have no internet connection. You know, having one of these is key. Knowing how to use it, even better. But at least having one, you can at least know what direction you're going. So I keep a compass in there as well. That takes care of the 2 outer pouches. Again, I described some of this stuff already. On the top of the bag, there's a couple of small little zip pouches. The back one being sort of a fleece-lined one. It's good for glasses, sunglasses, that sort of stuff. I keep my Phoenix HL55 headlamp in there. Something quick and easy I can grab when I'm on the move. It's always good to have redundancy when it comes to light, and it's always good to have light that you can use hands-free. So I keep that in there. It's just a very small pouch. That's all it holds. In the front little pouch here, sort of like my junk drawer, but I call it that. But it's sort of my cordage drawer for just quick surplus cordage. Nothing fancy. Just some small chunk of 550 cord, some brass snare wire, some large zip ties, a small amount of the tarred bank line. Just stuff you don't have to pull out the whole huge roll, but if I just need a quick piece, it's there. A bit of chain with some S-hooks. I use that for my my cook pot, but it can come in handy for lots of different reasons. And then just randomly, there's a glow stick in there. So that makes up the front pouch here. In the front pouch, zip this down. Okay. Lay this out nice so we can see. Across the top, there's another zipped pouch. And in there, I keep a very small, nothing fancy type folding shovel. Okay, it's telescopic. You can put it all together. It's very small. It's not terribly strong, but it's at least something. Could be used as a weapon if needed. But this is decent enough for digging a small little hole if you got to bury your waste. Okay, so that's basically that. Nice and small. That's all I keep in that pouch. Okay, below that, I have an assortment of things. Some bug spray, really good stuff with high DEET. Be careful using this against your electronic screens or on your sunglasses. It will melt your plastic screens, so be careful with that. A little bit of fat wood, using as some tinder. A whole bunch more zip ties. These, for how light they are and how much space they take up, are a million uses. Sitting there. Down the side here, your ferro rod. Okay? Spark onto tinder. You get your fire going. Doesn't matter if it's wet. You've got that. I keep it attached here. You don't want to lose it. So when I take this off out of the bag, I take the carabiner clip with it. I use it and I clip it back to my pocket so I don't lose it. You know, if you lose this thing and it's your last line of defense for a fire, you're screwed. Don't be like that guy on Alone and get kicked out early. All right, what else? Fully charged Bic lighter. Okay. I always keep one in my pocket as well. Chapstick. And some petroleum jelly soaked cotton balls. Those with the ferro rod. If you can't get a fire going with that, then you're screwed. On the other side, Sharpie, a flashlight, dual purpose pen. Perfect. Small sharpening little rod. It's a good little backup. It's not fancy, but it does the job. A whistle. Good animal deterrence. It's good if you're lost for signaling and or just communicating between two people in a large distance. You know, with different setup whistle calls, you can communicate different things. Then down here I have a little bit of power redundancy. So I have a 2300 milliamp hour battery bank charger. Okay, that'll charge my phone about halfway, or I can charge some of my other rechargeable devices like my lights, my flashlights and such. I keep another 3400 milliamp hour Phoenix battery for my headlamp. So there's a full charge one in there, and this one is fully charged as well. And a charger for that as well, so that I can keep that charged, and I can use the power from anything to charge those devices. So lots of redundancy when it comes to the electronics, because my phone is a huge part of my preparedness kit as well. In the front little pouches here, a couple of CR123 batteries, which together can double up and act as one 18650 battery for my phone. Some AAAs for some of my little lights that I have kicking around. So up in this front pouch, this is kind of cool. My daughter gave me this. Great one if you're bored, you're stuck somewhere and you got nothing to do. Maybe your phone's totally dead. Maybe there's no power. I don't know, whatever. Boredom sucks. It doesn't matter who you are. Boredom sucks. So this little thing in here, check this out. Little tiny Yahtzee, 5 dice and pencils, little mini pencils, and some score sheets. So super small, but you know what? That's a pretty cool piece of kit. And she gave it to me and she said, you know, this might be good in your bag if you get bored. And I thought, that's perfect. And there's over here just a bar of all-purpose soap. This is sort of like a hiking soap, and it's good for your clothes, your hair, and your body. So it's perfect. And that is the inside of that pouch. Entering into the main component of the bag, it's a small bag, so there's not a lot of room for things, but I do keep my main larger components in here, and I'll show you kind of what that is. A shmog, okay? Basically, for those who don't know, it's a extra large bandana type thing. It can be used for a lot of different reasons. If nothing else, it can be used as a scarf, face mask, but you can also use it as a sling. You could use it as a very small blanket, wrap it up, use it as a pillow is what I often do when I'm out in the woods. Tons of uses. It's very nice to have, and I have a couple of them. Try to carry a couple on me. So some mechanics gloves. I like to keep those. You got to do some work with your hands, keep your hands safe. A nice big first aid kit, which I won't go into large detail, but I saw another tribe member was showing off his first aid kit, and it was awesome. Very similar kit to this, like as far as the bag itself. Everybody's components are going to be different, but these pouches themselves are fantastic because of the way they open up. Okay, you can keep a lot of stuff, all very organized. So, you know, I have everything from, you know, stomach pills, first aid equipment, antiseptic wipes, eye drops, tape, sling, antibiotics and extra medication, different ointments and creams, Oragel for your teeth, an inhaler. I've got some different non-stick dressings for burns, quick access, just some standard bandages. Yeah, so nice and fairly organized, fairly comprehensive, a little bit of everything that you're going to want to have on you in an emergency. There's also a small makeshift tourniquet in there, not one of those real expensive fancy ones, but something I kind of crafted myself and it'll do in a pinch. I keep my GSI Catalyst. It's basically a solo pot in there with it's got a little bit of an eating system. It's nice and light, and I can have the ability to boil water so I can make some food. a roll of toilet paper in a Ziploc bag, keep it dry. No need to explain that. I've got some hand warmers and just some quick access bandages, just in case I quickly cut myself. A really good pair of warm wool socks, a spare t-shirt, a thermal sweater. It's not a lot of clothing, but it's something just in case. I had this in my bag from when I was out there the other day doing a little cooking, and I was going to take it out, and I thought, you know what, this might actually not be a bad thing to keep in the pack. Is the leftover of about 25 feet of tinfoil. Doesn't weigh a lot. You could line the inside of a shelter with that for radiant heat. Of course, you could use it for cooking. You can use it to fix things. For how much it weighs, I thought, you know what, that's handy to keep. I'm going to keep it in there. I keep my silky saw, roll of heavy-duty black garbage bags can be used for shelter, quick-made poncho if you're hiking around or walking around and you're getting soaked. You can use that. And that is everything. So anyways, guys, that's my grab bag. That's my bush bag. That's my get home bag, whatever you want to call it. If you haven't got yourself some sort of a system going, maybe give it some thought and some consideration, and see if you can put something together. Something like this in an emergency is going to be a really beneficial thing to have. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for the next video. RedBeard.